The parking garage smells like oil and fear. My hands shake so badly that my keys slip through my fingers and clatter under my car. I drop to my knees on the cold concrete, reaching blindly beneath the chassis. That's when I hear them. Footsteps. Deliberate. Measured. Derek found me. There's my girl. His voice echoes through the empty space. Did you really think you could just leave? 6 months, 2 cities, 3 jobs. None of it mattered. I grab my keys and shoot to my feet, but he's already blocking the path to the stairwell. His smile is that perfect mask that fooled everyone for 2 years. Derek, there's a restraining order. Restraining orders are just paper, sweetheart. He takes another step closer. Why don't we stop playing games? My back hits my car. There's nowhere to go. It's 11 p.m. and this garage is empty. Nobody's coming. Then I hear it. The low growl of an expensive engine. A sleek black Mercedes slides into the spot next to mine. The driver's door opens and a man steps out. Tall, dark-haired, wearing a suit that probably costs more than my rent. Everything about him radiates power and danger wrapped in civilized packaging. Our eyes meet across the hood of his car. His are almost black in the fluorescent lighting, and I watch something shift in them as he takes in the scene. Me pressed against my car, Derek standing too close, the fear I can't hide. Without thinking, driven purely by instinct, I do something insane. I rush toward the stranger and grab his arm. There you are, honey! The words tumble out desperate and high. I'm so sorry I'm late. The stranger doesn't miss a beat. His hand comes to rest at the small of my back, warm and solid, pulling me against his side. Up close, he smells like cedar and something darker, more expensive. There you are, he says smoothly, his eyes never leaving Derek. I was starting to worry. Derek stops mid-stride. Who the hell are you? The stranger's expression doesn't change, but the temperature seems to drop 10 degrees. I'm the man she came to meet. His arm tightens around my waist. And you are? Her boyfriend, Derek says, uncertainty creeping into his voice. No. The word cuts like a blade. You're not. The stranger pulls out his phone, never looking away from Derek Tamar's underground parking, Westfield building. 2 minutes. He ends the call and slides the phone back into his pocket. The silence is suffocating. You have approximately 90 seconds to walk away, he says conversationally. I suggest you use them. Derek's face flushes red. You don't know who you're. 60 seconds. Something in the stranger's tone makes my breath catch. It's not anger. It's something far more controlled and infinitely more dangerous. Derek backs away, his eyes darting between us. This isn't over. The stranger's response is so quiet, I almost miss it. Yes, it is. Derek turns and walks quickly toward the exit. His car roars to life and disappears up the ramp. The moment he's gone, my knees almost buckle. The stranger's arm is the only thing keeping me upright. Easy, he says, his voice gentler now. Breathe. You're safe. Thank you, I whisper. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I just panicked. How long has he been following you? The question cuts through my babbling. 6 months! Since I left. I've moved twice, changed my number. He keeps finding me. Something flickers across the stranger's face. What's your name, Sophia? Okay. Sophia Chun. Sophia. He tests the weight of it. Ameto Reyes. He pauses, making some kind of decision. Do you have somewhere safe to stay tonight? I think of my studio apartment, the one Derek now knows about. The flimsy lock, the ground floor windows. I have an apartment, but that's not what I asked. His tone isn't unkind, just efficient. No, I admit quietly, I don't. Mateo reaches into his wallet and pulls out a sleek black keycard. North Point Tower, Penthouse level. Code is 0815. He presses it into my palm. Stay there tonight. Tomorrow we'll discuss what comes next. I stare at the keycard. I don't even know me. Why would you? Because men like him don't stop, Sophia. His voice is quiet but absolute. And you need help whether you want to admit it or not. He pulls out his phone, speaking rapid Spanish. I catch a few words. Mujer, protection, ahora. Woman, protection now. Someone named Elena will meet you at the Penthouse within the hour. She works for me. He opens his car door, then pauses. Lock your doors. Don't open them for anyone else. Why are you doing this? He considers the question, one hand resting on the car door, because nobody helped when I needed it once. I don't make that mistake with others. Then he's in his car, engine purring to life, and I'm standing in an empty parking garage holding the keys to a stranger's penthouse. I should be terrified. I should throw the keycard away and figure this out on my own. Instead, I clutch it tighter, Mateo Reyes's cedar scent still lingering on my clothes, and feel something dangerous bloom in my chest. Relief. The elevator to North Point Tower's penthouse requires the keycard just to call it. I stand in the private garage level, my hand trembling as I swipe the black plastic against the reader. For a terrible moment, nothing happens, and I think maybe this was all some elaborate joke, some cruel trick. Then the doors slide open with a soft chime, revealing an interior lined with mirrors and dark wood. I step inside. The doors close. The elevator rises so smoothly I barely feel the movement, just the subtle pressure in my ears as floor numbers tick past on a discrete display. 42, 43, 44. The building only has 45 floors. When the doors open again, I'm not in a hallway. I'm standing directly inside an apartment. No, not an apartment. A penthouse that looks like something from a magazine spread I'd never be able to afford. Floor-to-ceiling windows span the far wall, offering a glittering view of the city at night. The furniture is all clean lines and expensive fabrics in shades of charcoal and cream. Abstract art hangs on walls painted a soft grey. The kitchen to my left gleams with stainless steel appliances I don't recognize. I take 3 steps inside and stop, suddenly paralyzed. This is insane. I'm in a stranger's home because I grabbed his arm in a parking garage and he felt sorry for me. The thought makes my stomach turn. I've spent 6 months running from Derek's control, and now I'm standing in another man's space, dependent on his charity. Except this doesn't feel like Derek's apartment. That place always felt like a trap, even before it became one. This feels like a sanctuary. Cold, maybe. Impersonal, but safe. I wander through the space like a ghost, trailing my fingers along surfaces I'm afraid to touch. There's a living area with a sofa that probably costs more than my car. A hallway that leads to what I assume are bedrooms. Everything is immaculate, elegant, and utterly intimidating. I'm standing in the kitchen, staring at an espresso machine that looks like it requires an engineering degree, when I hear the elevator chime. My entire body goes rigid. Mateo said someone named Elena. Don't open for anyone else. A woman steps out mid-40s, dark hair pulled into a neat bun, wearing slacks and a crisp white blouse. Her smile is warm but assessing, taking in my rumpled work clothes and frightened expression in a single glance. Sophia? Her voice is gentle. I'm Elena, Mr. Reyes asked me to make sure you have everything you need. The tension drains from my shoulders. Thank you. I don't really know what I'm doing here. You're safe. That's what you're doing here. She moves past me into the kitchen, setting down bags I hadn't noticed she was carrying. I brought some groceries, basic things. Are you hungry? I realize I haven't eaten since lunch, but my stomach is too knotted with anxiety to want food. I'm okay. Elena starts unpacking any whey bread, eggs, fruit, coffee. Simple things that somehow make this bizarre situation feel more real. The guest room is the second door on the right. Fresh towels in the bathroom. If you need anything else, my number is programmed into the house phone. I watch her work, trying to find the right words for the question burning in my throat. Finally, I just ask, what does he want from me? Mateo, what does he expect in return? Elena stops, turning to face me fully. Her expression is serious now, almost protective. Mr. Reyes doesn't operate that way. When he offers protection, there are no strings attached. Only safety. Nobody does something like this for nothing. You're right, she says quietly. Nobody does. But Mr. Reyes isn't nobody. She places the last item in the refrigerator and closes it. Get some rest, Sophia. Tomorrow you can talk to him properly. Ask all your questions. Tonight, just let yourself be safe. After she leaves, I stand in the enormous kitchen for a long time, trying to process everything. Finally, exhaustion wins over confusion. I find the guest room decorated in shades of blue and white, with a bed that looks like it belongs in a luxury hotel. The door has a lock. I test it 3 times before I trust it. I shower in a bathroom with heated floors and water pressure that feels like heaven. I don't have pajamas, so I sleep in the oversized t-shirt I'd worn under my work blouse. The bed is so soft it feels like floating. The sheets smell like expensive detergent and something else, cedar, maybe, like Mateo's cologne lingering faintly in the fabric. For the first time in 6 months, the door is locked from the inside and I'm not afraid of who might break it down. I fall asleep feeling safer than I have in years. I wake to find someone sitting in the darkness of my room. My breath catches, heart hammering, until my eyes adjust and I recognize the silhouette against the window. Tall, broad-shouldered, utterly still. Mateo. He's watching me sleep from a chair positioned near the door, his face half in shadow. When he sees I'm awake, he doesn't move, doesn't apologize. We need to talk, he says quietly. And despite everything, the strangeness, the fear, the absolute insanity of this situation, what I feel isn't terror. It's something far more dangerous. I didn't mean to frighten you, Mateo says, still not moving from the chair. The city lights behind him cast his face in shadow, making him look like something carved from darkness itself. You're in my bedroom. My voice comes out steadier than I feel. I glance at the clock on the nightstand. 3 a.m. What did you expect? Ghost of a smile touches his lips. Fair point. He leans forward slightly, elbows resting on his knees, and I can see his face better now. He's changed from the suit into dark slacks and a black shirt, sleeves rolled to his forearms. Somehow he looks more dangerous this way. Less civilized. We need to discuss your situation, he says. I had my people look into your ex-boyfriend. You had people look into Derek? I pull the sheet higher, suddenly aware I'm wearing only a t-shirt. How did you even... It's been 6 hours. I'm efficient. His tone suggests this is all the explanation I'm getting. Derek Thornton, 32 years old, works in pharmaceutical sales, has a sealed record from college that my people are still working on accessing. He pauses, his eyes darkening. And he has a cousin in the police department. Detective Marcus Thornton, Organized Crime Division. My stomach drops. That's how he keeps finding me. Yes. Every time you file a report, every time you update your address with any official agency, Marcus feeds him the information. The restraining orders disappear from the system. His complaints vanish. Mateo's voice is calm, but I hear steel beneath it. You've been running from someone with protection, Sophia. That's why nothing you've tried has worked. I close my eyes, feeling 6 months of effort crumble to dust. So what do I do? Keep running forever? Change my name? Leave the country? No. The single word is absolute. You stop running. I open my eyes to find him watching me with an intensity that makes my breath catch. How? You make yourself untouchable. He stands, moving to the window, hands in his pockets. Derek operates on intimidation. He thinks he can chase you indefinitely because you have no one powerful enough to make him stop. We change that calculation, we? He turns to face me fully. Be seen with me, publicly, as my companion. Let the right people, including Detective Thornton, know that you're under my protection. 3 months should be sufficient for the message to be received and understood. I stare at him, trying to process what he's suggesting. You want me to pretend to be your girlfriend. I want you to be seen with me in contexts where our association is clear. He moves closer, stopping at the foot of the bed. Dinners, events, places where people who matter will notice and draw their own conclusions. And in return, my voice is sharper than intended. What do you want from me? Your presence. Nothing more. His gaze holds mine. I won't touch you beyond what's necessary for appearances. You'll have your own room, your own space. Elena will help you with anything you need. After 3 months, Derek will understand that pursuing you means answering to me. And then you decide what happens next. Decide what? Whether you stay or go. Whether you want my continued protection or prefer to rebuild your life independently. He says it like it's the simplest thing in the world. Your choice, Sophia. Always your choice. I should say no. This is insane, binding myself to a man I don't know, playing a role in his world, becoming visible when I've spent months trying to disappear. But the alternative is more running, more fear, more nights wondering when Derek will find me again. Why are you doing this? I ask again. Really? Matteo is quiet for a long moment. Because I have power and resources most people don't, and I choose to use them for something other than profit. His jaw tightens. And because men like Derek remind me of someone I once knew, someone who hurt people I cared about while everyone looked away. There's a story there, something dark and painful, but I don't push. Instead, I ask the only question that matters. 3 months? 3 months. Then you're free to choose. I look at this dangerous, beautiful man offering me sanctuary wrapped in conditions, protection wrapped in performance. Every instinct screams that I'm trading one cage for another. But Elena's words echo in my mind. When he offers protection, there are no strings, only safety. Okay, I hear myself say, 3 months. Something flashes in Matteo's eyes. Satisfaction, maybe, or relief. He extends his hand across the space between us. Formal, sealing our bargain. Partners, then. For 3 months. I reach out and place my palm against his. The moment our skin connects, electricity shoots up my arm. Not fear, not gratitude, but something infinitely more complicated. His hand is warm, calloused, strong. He holds mine for a beat longer than necessary, his thumb brushing across my knuckles in a gesture that feels far too intimate for a business arrangement. Partners, I whisper, and wonder what I've just agreed to. When he releases my hand and leaves the room, I can still feel the ghost of his touch burning against my skin. This arrangement just got very complicated. Matteo doesn't waste time. The morning after our agreement, I wake to find the second bedroom, the one across from mine, transformed. The closet that was empty yesterday now holds dozens of garments in protective bags. Dresses, blouses, slacks, even shoes lined up like soldiers on custom shelving. Elena appears with coffee while I'm staring at it all in shock. Mr. Reyes had his stylist work through the night, she explains, as if this is perfectly normal. Everything should fit, but if adjustments are needed, just let me know. I pull out a dress at random. The label is one I've only seen in magazine advertisements. How did he know my size? Elena's smile is diplomatic. Mr. Reyes is very observant. The thought of him cataloguing my measurements from a single meeting in a parking garage should disturb me. Instead, I feel something warmer, more dangerous. He was paying attention. Over the next 2 days, I'm inducted into Matteo's world with the efficiency of a military operation. Elena teaches me which fork to use at formal dinners, how to navigate conversations with the wealthy and powerful, what topics to avoid. A man named Tomas, built like a tank with kind eyes, briefs me on security protocols with absolute seriousness. You don't go anywhere without telling me first, he says. You notice anyone following you? Anyone making you uncomfortable? You call immediately. Understood? I nod, feeling like I've enlisted in some private army. Good. His expression softens slightly. We take care of our own, Miss Chun. You're under Mr. Reyes's protection now. That means your family. The word catches in my throat. Family. I haven't had that in years. On the 3rd day, Matteo informs me we're attending a charity gala that evening. It's time to be seen, he says over breakfast. Our first meal together since that night in my room. The Mansfield Foundation event. Half the city's power players will be there, including Derek? The name tastes like ash. Including people who know Derek's cousin. Matteo's eyes meet mine across the table. By tomorrow morning, Detective Thornton will know exactly who you're associated with. And he'll make sure Derek understands. That evening, I stand in front of the mirror in a midnight blue gown that fits like it was designed for my body specifically. Because it was Elena, let that slip earlier. The neckline is elegant but modest. The fabric's some kind of silk that catches the light when I move. I look like someone who belongs in Matteo's world. I look like an imposter. You're ready? Elena asks from the doorway, approval clear in her expression. I don't know how to be this person. You don't have to be anyone but yourself, Sophia. She adjusts a strand of my hair. Mr. Reyes doesn't want a performance. He wants you. Before I can unpack what that means, I hear the elevator chime. Matteo's home. I walk down the hallway on shaking legs, my heels clicking against the hardwood. Matteo stands in the living area, devastating in a black tuxedo that makes him look like he stepped out of a movie. When he sees me, he goes completely still. Something flashes in his eyes. Heat, hunger, appreciation, gone so quickly I might have imagined it. Perfect, he murmurs, offering his arm. The single word wraps around me like a caress. The gala is held at the Grandview Hotel in a ballroom that drips with crystal chandeliers and old money. Matteo's hand rests at the small of my back as we enter, warm and possessive through the thin fabric of my dress. People turn to look. I feel their gazes cataloguing, assessing, wondering. Relax, Matteo says quietly near my ear. You belong here. He introduces me to a parade of people whose names I immediately forget. Businessmen, socialites, a city councilman. Everyone treats Matteo with deference that borders on fear, and by extension, they treat me with careful respect. What exactly do you do? I whisper during a rare moment alone. His smile is enigmatic. Import-export. Real estate. Investments. Everything and nothing. The non-answer of someone whose real business happens in shadows. We're standing near the bar when I see him, Derek. He's across the ballroom wearing a suit that doesn't quite fit, looking desperate and out of place among the designer gowns and custom tuxedos. His eyes lock onto mine, and even from this distance, I see the rage. My entire body goes rigid. Matteo, I see him. His voice is calm, but his hand tightens at my waist. Stay here. What are you going to do? He looks down at me, and what I see in his eyes makes my breath catch. Not anger, something colder, more controlled, more absolutely lethal. Have a conversation. Then he's moving across the ballroom with a predator's grace. And I realize I'm about to discover exactly what kind of man I've made a deal with. I watch Matteo cross the ballroom like a shark cutting through water. The crowd parts instinctively, people stepping aside without quite knowing why. Derek doesn't see him coming until it's too late. Matteo reaches him, says something too quiet for anyone else to hear. Derek's face transforms confusion, then recognition, then something that looks like genuine fear. His mouth opens, probably to argue or threaten or do whatever he's always done to make himself feel powerful. Matteo leans closer, speaks again. 2 sentences, maybe 3. That's all it takes. The color drains completely from Derek's face. I don't see Matteo make any signal, but suddenly there are men in dark suits flanking Derek. Not the hotel security. These men move with the same lethal efficiency of Thomas there, Matteo's. Derek is escorted toward a side exit with the kind of smooth professionalism that makes it look almost choreographed. No scene, no drama. One moment he's there, the next he's simply ... gone, like he never existed at all. The entire interaction took less than a minute. Matteo returns to my side, his expression calm, as if he'd just stepped away to check his phone. But I see something dark still lingering in his eyes, something that reminds me exactly who and what he is. What did you say to him? My voice barely works. The truth. He takes my hand, threading his fingers through mine. That you're under my protection now. That if he comes near you again, he won't have to worry about restraining orders or police reports. His thumb traces my knuckles. He'll have to worry about me. A shiver runs through me that has nothing to do with fear. Will he listen? He will. Matteo's certainty is absolute. Men like Derek are cowards at their core. They only threaten those they believe can't fight back. Now he knows you can. The gala continues around us, champagne flowing, orchestra playing, people laughing like nothing happened. And maybe for them nothing did, just another guest leaving early. But my hands are shaking, adrenaline flooding my system as the reality crashes over me. Derek was here. He found me again. And Matteo just handled it. Made him disappear with nothing but words and the weight of his presence. I need to leave, I whisper. I can't. I need air. Matteo doesn't argue. His hand moves to the small of my back, guiding me toward the exit with the same protective certainty he's shown since that first night. He says something to Thomas, who materializes from nowhere with my wrap. The car is waiting at the curb, the same black Mercedes from the parking garage. Matteo opens the door himself, hand braced on the frame as I slide inside. The interior is warm, quiet, insulated from the world. He settles beside me, giving instructions to the driver in low Spanish before raising the privacy screen. Then we're moving through the city, lights streaking past the tinted windows. I can't stop shaking, Sophia. Matteo's voice is gentle. Breathe. He was there, right there. How did he even... My voice cracks. What if you hadn't been with me? But I was. His hand finds mine in the darkness between us. And I will be. That's what this arrangement means. The word arrangement should remind me this is temporary. Transactional. 3 months and then I decide. But the way he's looking at me, the warmth of his hand around mine feels like something else entirely. Come here, he says softly. I should maintain distance. Remember the boundaries. Keep this professional. Instead, I slide across the seat and let him pull me against his side. His arm comes around my shoulders, solid and sure, and I bury my face against his chest. He smells like cedar and something darker, the scent I'm already learning to associate with safety. Thank you, I whisper into the expensive fabric of his tuxedo. For tonight, for everything. His arm tightens around me. Always. The word hangs in the air between us, heavy with meaning. Not you're welcome or it's nothing. Always. Like a promise. Like a vow that extends far beyond 3 months, far beyond any arrangement we agreed to. I lift my head to look at him, finding his face closer than I expected. In the dim light from passing street lamps, his features are all sharp angles and shadows. Beautiful and dangerous in equal measure. Always. Repeat quietly, needing to know if he meant it the way it sounded. His free hand comes up to cup my face, thumb brushing my cheekbone with devastating gentleness. Always, Sophia. The way he says my name like it's something precious, something worth protecting, makes my heart stutter in my chest. This was supposed to be simple. 3 months. A transaction. Protection for appearances. But as I sit in the darkness of his car, wrapped in his arms, the word always echoing between us like a promise neither of us planned to make, I realize nothing about this is simple anymore. And the most terrifying part is that I don't want it to be. We don't speak for the rest of the drive home. I stay curled against Matteo's side, his arm around me, listening to the steady beat of his heart through his shirt. When we arrive at North Point Tower, he walks me to my room but doesn't follow me inside. Get some rest, he says softly. Tomorrow we'll assess whether your ex received the message. But at the doorway he pauses. His hand comes up to brush a strand of hair from my face, fingers lingering against my cheek for a heartbeat longer than necessary. Sleep well, Sophia. Then he's gone, and I'm left standing in the darkness wondering what's happening between us. Derek doesn't contact me. Doesn't show up at the Penthouse or follow me when Tomas drives me to the temp agency. According to Matteo's sources, Derek's cousin Marcus had a very pointed conversation with him the morning after the gala. The message was received. I'm safe. And somehow, that safety allows something else to unfold. The days slip into a rhythm I never expected to find comforting. Matteo leaves early for business I don't ask about. I work my temp assignments, slowly rebuilding the savings Derek destroyed. We share dinner most evenings, sometimes in restaurants where we're photographed, but increasingly at the Penthouse, just the two of us. Those dinners are dangerous. He asks about my day, my life before Derek, my dreams for what comes after these 3 months. I ask about his business, the legitimate parts he's willing to share about the sister he keeps safe in Europe, about the weight of the empire he inherited too young. We never touch beyond what's necessary for public appearances. But the space between us crackles with something neither of us acknowledges. 6 weeks into our arrangement, everything changes. I come home early from work. The assignment ended ahead of schedule to find the penthouse empty. Matteo won't be back for hours. Elena left a note saying she's grocery shopping. For the first time since I moved in, I'm completely alone. I should feel vulnerable. Instead, I feel at home. I change into one of the casual dresses from the endless wardrobe Matteo provided, pull my hair into a messy knot, and decide to cook dinner. It's a small thing, but I want to do something for him. Thank him in a way that goes beyond words. I'm barefoot in his kitchen, humming to music from my phone, stirring pasta sauce when I hear the elevator chime. Matteo steps out, stopping dead when he sees me. His suit jacket is gone, tie loosened, sleeves rolled up. He looks exhausted till his eyes land on me. Then something shifts in his expression. "What are you doing?" His voice is strange, rougher than usual. "It's making dinner." I gesture to the stove with the wooden spoon. "I hope that's okay." "I wanted to, I don't get to finish." He crosses the space between us in 4 strides, his hand coming up to cup my face with a gentleness that steals my breath. Up close, I can see shadows under his eyes, tension in his jaw, something raw and desperate in his gaze. "This wasn't supposed to happen," he says roughly. "What wasn't?" But my heart already knows. "This." His thumb traces my cheekbone. "You, in my kitchen, in my home, looking like you belong here. Looking like—" He stops, jaw clenching. "Like what?" I whisper. "Like you're mine." The words hang between us, charged with 6 weeks of careful distance, of boundaries neither of us wanted but both maintained. His eyes search mine, and I see the war happening behind them. Control versus desire. Protection versus possession. "Matteo, I'm falling in love with you," he says, the confession torn from somewhere deep. "And that makes you the most dangerous thing in my world, Sophia. Because everyone I love becomes leverage. Everyone I care about becomes a target." My breath catches. Around us, the pasta sauce bubbles forgotten on the stove, music plays from my phone, the city glitters beyond the windows. And all I can see is this powerful man admitting he's vulnerable, that I've become his weakness. What if I'm willing to take that risk? I ask, my hand coming up to cover his where it still cups my face. His eyes close briefly, something like pain crossing his features. "What if I'm not willing to let you?" "Then you don't get a choice," I say, rising on my toes to bring us closer. "Because I'm falling too, Matteo, and I'm already in too deep to walk away." His control, that iron restraint he's maintained since the night we met, finally breaks. He kisses me. The kiss is everything desperate and tender, claiming and giving, 6 weeks of denial igniting into something that feels inevitable. Matteo's hands frame my face like I'm precious, like I'm his. And I melt into him as if I'd been waiting for this moment my entire life. When we finally break apart, both breathless, his forehead rests against mine. "Sophia," he whispers, my name a prayer and a curse. Then he steps back. Physically, emotionally, I watch walls slam into place behind his eyes. I shouldn't have done that. His voice is carefully neutral now, all the raw emotion locked away. That was unprofessional. The word hits like a slap. Unprofessional. As if we're colleagues who crossed a line, not 2 people who just admitted they're falling in love. "Matteo, I have calls to make." He's already moving toward his study, putting distance between us. "Thank you for dinner." Then he's gone, the study door closing with a quiet click that sounds like finality. I stand in the kitchen, pasta sauce still bubbling, music still playing, feeling like the ground just shifted beneath me. The next 3 days are torture. Matteo leaves before I wake up, returns after I've gone to bed. When we do cross paths, brief moments in the hallway, silent breakfasts. He's polite but distant. Like that kiss never happened. Like he didn't tell me he was falling in love with me. Elena watches it all with sad, knowing eyes but says nothing. Even Tomas seems more somber than usual. I try to give Matteo space. Tell myself he needs time to process. But by the 4th day, I'm done waiting. I find him in his study, papers spread across his desk, a glass of bourbon untouched at his elbow. He looks up when I enter, something flickering in his eyes before the mask drops back into place. Sophia, do you need— Stop! I close the door behind me. Stop being polite. Stop avoiding me. Stop pretending that kiss meant nothing. His jaw tightens. It's better this way. Better for who? I move closer to his desk. Talk to me, Matteo. Tell me why you're running. For a long moment he says nothing. Then he stands, moving to the window, his back to me. When he finally speaks, his voice is raw. My brother Diego. He was 20 years old when he died. 5 years ago. His shoulders are rigid. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time. A rival organization wanted to send me a message. They shot up a restaurant where Diego was having lunch with his girlfriend. My heart clenches. Matteo, he wasn't even supposed to be in the city that weekend. I told him to stay away, that things were dangerous. But he came back for his girlfriend's birthday. His voice breaks slightly. He died because someone wanted to hurt me. Because loving me made him a target. I crossed the room, standing close enough to touch, but not reaching out yet. That wasn't your fault, wasn't it? He turns to face me, and the pain in his eyes is devastating. Everyone I love becomes leverage, Sophia. Everyone I care about becomes a weapon someone can use against me. After Diego, I promised myself never again. No vulnerabilities. No one close enough to be hurt because of me. Is that why your sister's in Europe? She hates me for it. But she's alive. His hands clench into fists. I've built an empire on calculated risks, Sophia. But you loving you is the one risk I can't take. Because if something happened to you because of me, it would destroy me. The admission hangs between us, raw and honest. This isn't about not wanting me. It's about wanting me too much. About being terrified of what that means. I step closer, reaching for his hand. He tries to pull away, but I hold firm. What if I'm willing to take that risk? I ask quietly. What if being safe but without you is worse than any danger? You don't understand what you're saying. Then explain it to me. Make me understand. I move closer still until we're inches apart. Because right now, all I understand is that you're pushing me away to protect me from something that might never happen. And in the process, you're guaranteeing we both lose. His free hand comes up to cup my face. His touch gentle, despite the turmoil in his eyes. I can't lose you, Sophia. I can't survive that. Then don't push me away. What if keeping you close is what gets you killed? The question hangs between us, heavy with fear and possibility. Outside the study window, the city glitters with 1,000 lights. Inside, 2 people who fell in love despite every reason not to stand on the edge of a decision that will change everything. Then we face that together, I whisper. As partners, remember? Something breaks in his expression control, giving way to need, fear giving way to hope. You're terrifying, he says softly. Good. So are you. I rise on my toes, my lips brushing his. Now stop running from me. This time, when he kisses me, there's no holding back. The kiss deepens, all the restraint of the past weeks dissolving between us. Matteo's hands slide into my hair, tilting my head to give him better access. I press closer, my fingers clutching the fabric of his shirt, and he makes a low sound in his throat that sends heat flooding through me. Sophia, he breathes against my lips. If we do this, if we cross this line, there's no going back. I don't want to go back. Something fierce flashes in his eyes. He lifts me easily, settling me on the edge of his desk, papers scattering. His hands bracket my hips, keeping me close as he kisses me again, slower this time, deeper, like he's memorizing the taste of me. When we finally break apart, we're both breathing hard. His forehead rests against mine, his hand still on my waist. "The 3 months aren't up," I whisper. "I don't care." His voice is rough with emotion. "Stay, not because of Derek or safety or an arrangement. Stay because this is real." "What exactly are you asking, Matteo?" He pulls back just enough to meet my eyes. What I see there steals my breath: vulnerability, hope, love barely restrained. "I'm asking you to choose me," he says quietly. "Not because you need protection or have nowhere else to go. Choose me because you want this." Want me? The real me, not the power, not the money. Just the man who's been trying not to fall in love with you and failing spectacularly. Tears prick my eyes. "I choose you," I whisper. "I choose us, Matteo. Every day." The smile that breaks across his face transforms him. He looks younger suddenly, lighter, like a weight he's carried for years just lifted. He kisses me again, and this time there's nothing tentative about it. This is claiming and being claimed, choosing and being chosen. His hands slide under my knees, pulling me to the edge of the desk, and I wrap my legs around his waist, kneading him closer still. "Come with me," he murmurs against my neck, pressing kisses along my jaw. "Where?" "To my room. Let me show you what choosing me means." Heat pulls low in my stomach. I nod, unable to form words, and he lifts me, easily. I wrap around him as he carries me down the hallway, past my room to the master suite I've never entered. His bedroom is darker than the rest of the penthouse charcoal walls. Massive bed with black sheets, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. It's masculine and elegant and perfectly him. He sets me down beside the bed, his hands gentle as they cup my face. "Are you sure?" In answer, I reach for the buttons of his shirt. His hands cover mine, stopping me, and for a terrifying moment I think he's changed his mind. Then he leans down, pressing his forehead to mine. "I love you," he says. "I need you to know that before anything else happens. This isn't about the arrangement or protection or gratitude. I love you, Sophia." The words wrap around my heart. "I love you too." What follows is tender and passionate, urgent and slow. He takes his time learning every inch of me, whispering words in Spanish I don't understand but feel in my bones. When we finally come together, it's perfect, not because it's flawless, but because it's real, because we chose this, chose each other. Afterward, we lie tangled in his sheets, my head on his chest, his fingers tracing lazy patterns on my shoulder. The city glitters beyond the windows, but for once I'm not thinking about what's out there. I'm entirely present, entirely his. "No more running?" I ask quietly. His arm tightens around me. "No more running." From either of us. I fall asleep in his arms, safer and happier than I've ever been. Awake to sunlight streaming through the windows and Matteo's phone buzzing insistently on the nightstand. He reaches for it, his other arm still around me, and I feel him go rigid. "What is it?" I ask, instantly alert. He sits up, staring at the screen. His expression is unreadable, but I see tension in every line of his body. "Matteo?" He hands me the phone without a word. On the screen is a photograph of Matteo and me in his study window last night, silhouetted against the light, clearly intimate. The angle suggests it was taken from a building across the street. Professional. Deliberate. Below the image, a message. "She makes you weak." My blood runs cold. Someone was watching us. Matteo's jaw tightens. Someone's been watching us. His voice is deadly calm. And now they've made their move. He's already reaching for his phone, making calls, his protective walls slamming back into place. But this time, I'm not on the outside. This time, we face the danger together. Within an hour, the penthouse transforms into a command center. Tomás arrives with 2 other men, laptops open on the dining table, security footage streaming across multiple screens. Matteo stands at the window, phone pressed to his ear, speaking rapid Spanish that sounds like orders being deployed. I sit on the couch, wrapped in Matteo's shirt, watching this other side of him emerge. This is the man who built an empire, the one people fear. When he finally ends his calls, he comes to sit beside me. His hand finds mine automatically, threading our fingers together. The photograph was taken from the Chandler Building, 14th floor, an empty office space currently unleased. His voice is calm, clinical. My people are reviewing security footage now. We'll know who sent this within the hour. What do we do until then? Something shifts in his expression. We don't hide. We do the opposite. What do you mean? He turns to face me fully. Whoever sent this thinks you're my weakness. That threatening you will make me vulnerable, force me to make mistakes. His thumb traces my knuckles. They're wrong. You don't make me weak, Sophia. You make me more dangerous than I've ever been. I don't understand. Instead of hiding you, it's protecting you through secrecy. We make our relationship public, official. Every major outlet in the city will know by this afternoon that you're mine. That touching you means declaring war on me. The possessiveness in his voice should probably bother me. Instead, I feel safe, protected in a way I never did with Derek's ownership. You're making me a very visible target, I say quietly. I'm making you untouchable. His hand cups my face. There's a difference. When you were hidden, you were vulnerable. Now everyone knows you're not a weakness to exploit. You're a line no one dares to cross. I lean into his touch. And if they cross it anyway, his eyes darken. Then they learn why people fear me. By noon the story breaks. Every society blog, every news outlet, every gossip column runs variations of the same headline. Mateo Reyes confirms relationship with Sophia Chun. There are photos from the charity gala, quotes from sources close to the couple, speculation about how we met. Mateo even gives a rare interview to the city's most influential reporter, making our connection undeniably public and official. You're not protecting me? The reporter asks in the clip Tomas shows us. You're claiming her. Mateo's smile in response is slight but absolute. I'm doing both. The message is clear. Sophia Chun belongs to Mateo Reyes. Touch her and face the consequences. It should feel suffocating. Instead, it feels like freedom. That afternoon, while Mateo is in a security meeting, my phone rings. Unknown number. Against my better judgment, I answer. Sophia. Derek's voice makes my skin crawl. We need to talk. No, we don't. I'm surprised by how steady my voice sounds. You don't understand what you've gotten yourself into. That man, he's dangerous. I'm trying to protect you. Protect me? Anger floods through me, hot and clean. You broke my ribs, Derek. You isolated me from everyone I knew. You tracked me across state lines. Don't you dare pretend this is about protection. Sophia, no, you don't get to say my name anymore. You don't get to contact me, follow me, or think about me. I stand, pacing to the window. And if you ever come near me again, you won't answer to a restraining order or the police. You'll answer to Mateo Reyes, and trust me when I say you don't want that. You think he cares about you. You're just... I hang up. My hands are shaking, but not from fear. From power. From finally having the strength to end this myself. When I turn, Mateo is standing in the doorway. I don't know how long he's been there, but the pride in his eyes tells me he heard enough. That was Derek, I say unnecessarily. I know. Tomas was tracing the call. He crosses to me, pulling me into his arms. That was remarkable, Sophia. I learned from the best. His phone buzzes. He checks it, and something dangerous flashes across his face. We found who sent the photograph. And where Derek is right now. Where? North Point Tower lobby. He's trying to get up to the penthouse. My breath catches. What do we do? Mateo's smile is cold. We go down there. Together. And we end this. Permanently. He extends his hand to me not to lead, but to walk beside him as equals. I take it without hesitation. Let's finish this. The elevator ride down feels like descending into battle. Mateo's hand is steady in mine, Tomas flanking us with 2 other security personnel. But when the doors open to the lobby, Mateo pulls me aside. This is your choice, he says quietly. I can handle this. Send him away. Make sure he never bothers you again. Or I can face him myself. I meet his eyes. As the woman I've become, not the one he remembers, something like admiration flashes across Matteo's face. Are you sure? I've never been more sure of anything. He nods, stepping back but staying close. Tomas positions himself at a discreet distance, close enough to intervene if needed, far enough to give me space. The message is clear. I'm protected, but this is my fight. Derek stands near the security desk, arguing with the guard. He looks smaller than I remember, desperate. When he sees me step out of the elevator, his expression transforms relief, then possession, then confusion when he notices my designer clothes. My confidence, the way Matteo stands just behind me like a shield I don't need but have anyway. Sophia, he starts toward me. But Tomas shifts almost imperceptibly, and Derek stops. Thank God. I've been trying to reach you. We need to talk about this mistake you've made. There's no mistake, Derek. My voice is steady, clear. And there's nothing to discuss. You don't understand what you're involved in. That man, he gestures toward Matteo with contempt. He's dangerous. He's using you. I almost laugh. You're going to lecture me about dangerous men? You who put me in the hospital twice? Who isolated me from everyone I knew? Who tracked me across state lines like I was your property? Derek's face flushes. I was trying to help you. You needed guidance, structure. I needed to be safe from you. I take a step forward, and he actually backs up. For months, I ran. I hid. I let you make me afraid of my own shadow. But that ends today. Sophia, be reasonable. I am being reasonable. My voice is steel now. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to leave this building. You're going to delete my number. You're going to forget I exist. And you're never going to contact me again. Or what? His sneer returns, that false bravado. Your boyfriend will, or I will, make your life very difficult. I cut him off. You see, I've learnt some interesting things over the past few weeks. About the sealed record from college. About the complaints that mysteriously disappeared. About your cousin Marcus and the favors he's been doing for you. Derek's face goes white. You can't prove. I don't need to prove anything. The information exists. And if you ever come near me again, it becomes very public. Your job, your reputation, your cousin's career, all of it goes away. I smile, and it's not kind. You taught me that power isn't about strength. It's about knowing where people are vulnerable. So thank you for the lesson. The silence that follows is absolute. Derek stares at me like he's seeing a stranger, and I realize that's exactly what I am. Not his victim. Not his possession. Someone entirely new. Leave, Derek. My voice is final. And don't come back. He looks past me to Matteo, perhaps hoping for male solidarity, some acknowledgement that I'm overstepping. Instead, Matteo's expression is cold and absolute. You heard her, is all he says. Derek turns and walks toward the exit, his shoulders hunched in defeat. I watch him go, waiting for fear or regret or something, but all I feel is relief. Freedom. The weight of 6 months, 2 years, really finally lifting. When the lobby doors close behind him, Matteo's arms come around me from behind, solid and warm. That was extraordinary, he murmurs, against my hair. I had a good teacher. I turn in his arms, looking up at him. Thank you for letting me handle it myself. You didn't need me to handle it. You never did. His hand cups my face. You just needed time to remember your own strength. Later, back in the penthouse, Matteo pulls me onto the balcony overlooking the city. The sun is setting, painting the sky in shades of orange and gold. The 3 months are up next week, he says quietly. I know. You could leave. Go anywhere. Be anyone. His arms tighten around me. You're free, Sophia. Completely free. I turn to face him, my hands coming up to frame his face. Then I choose to stay. Not because I'm afraid or have nowhere to go. I choose this. Choose you. Choose us. Are you sure? There's vulnerability in his voice. My world isn't safe. There will always be risks. Life isn't safe, I interrupt. but I'd rather face the risks with you than be safe and alone. I smile. Besides, I'm fairly terrifying now. I can handle it. His laugh is warm and genuine. Yes, you are. He kisses me softly. So what happens now? Now? I lean into him, watching the city light up as darkness falls. Now we live. We build something real. We face whatever comes next together, as partners. As partners, I agree. And maybe more. His smile against my hair is everything. Definitely more. 3 months ago, I sat on a dangerous man's lap in a parking garage, desperate and afraid. He handed me keys to his penthouse and changed my life. I came looking for safety and found love. Came looking for shelter and found home. Came looking for protection and found partnership. Sometimes the most dangerous choice is the only one worth making. Sometimes she's mine is just the beginning of I'm yours right back. And sometimes the keys to a penthouse unlock more than just a door. They unlock a future neither of us saw coming, but both of us choose every single day.